The council is expecting us, and I'd rather not keep them waiting.
Enter through here. The Council of Admirals awaits you.
Welcome home, Alvida, and welcome to you traveling with her.
Xantis is delighted to have you here.
However, Alvida, you haven't been summoned here just to exchange pleasantries. Rather, we would like to understand how you got here.
Well, we had to leave the Tynean coast quickly. We had no choice but to take a fisherman's skiff. It's small, but strong. I thought I'd head straight for Xantis, and that's what I did. I know the stars and the currents like the back of my hand, so I had no trouble finding my way back to our island.
You made it through the Serpent's fans in this nutshell, without losing a passenger.
That's right. My companions can confirm that we didn't lose anyone at sea.
Although it's unfortunate that you had to borrow this vessel, you've accomplished quite a feat in sailing it all the way here.
No one has managed to sail through the Fangs in such a small boat in over 100 years.
It seems only logical to me that we should nominate our Naut sister Alvida for the title of captain, so that she might have a decent ship at last.
I second this proposal. Let's give her a ship.
I also support this proposal. She shall have her ship.
Very well. I am recording our Naut sister Alvida in the register as a new captain.
You'll be able to return to the sea soon, Alvida, as soon as we can get you a ship. In the meantime, you'll have to add to your tattoos. You know where to go. We've already informed the Ink Mistress. Your friends can go with you, or they can wait for you at the inn. Remember that on this island, as when at sea, you are responsible for your guests, since they aren't Nauts.
The council has ruled and adjourned. Away.
Congratulations, Captain Alvida. I'm sure you'll bring honor to our guild.
Thank you, Admiral. I hope I won't disappoint you.
Who and what exactly are the Admirals? What's your role?
I understand that for someone outside the guild, our organization may seem rather strange. The admirals who meet here in council in Xantis are the leaders of the Nauts Guild. They reach this level after having climbed through the ranks, distinguishing themselves through their bravery, talent, and foresight. They determine the guild's direction, enter into contracts on behalf of the guild, and are responsible for a fleet. The size of the fleet depends on the number of admirals in office. Currently, there are only 2 admirals, Admiral Basilis and myself. But there were 3 of us not so long ago.
How do you see the guild?
I think I understand what's behind your question. We're a guild of navigators, ship owners, explorers, and transporters. But we're not pirates or mercenaries, and our code of ethics was set down by our forebears. I know you've suffered because of the Nauts' involvement in your deportation. It's a difficult topic, because the Alliance is one of our biggest clients. Losing them as a client, even if only in part, would cost this island dearly. Personally, I think we should put an end to this type of contract, which is harmful to the Nort's very essence. After all, the Alliance won't be able to get to Tier 4D without us, even if we refuse to return with natives in our holds. That's one of the reasons why I've called the Council to the island. But unfortunately, Admiral Basilisk doesn't share my opinion.
Thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure.
Captain Alvida. That has a fine ring to it. I'm very proud of what you've accomplished.
Oh, thank you.
Young people, I don't know you, but you're very fortunate to have crossed paths with this woman. Here she's responsible for your conduct, so be worthy of it.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Congratulations. You must be happy to see that the Council has acknowledged your talent.
Yes, it's an honor. There's nothing like recognition from your peer. Watch out. That woman coming towards us is Bridge Alliance. What do you want?
Only to speak to you and to warn you.
Warn us or threaten us? My friends have already suffered enough from your...
Please. I am no threat. Let me introduce myself. My name is Saphir. I am an explorer and cartographer, and I'm indeed from the Bridge Alliance. From your reaction, I take it you suffered at the hands of the people of my nation, and for this I am truly sorry. I know that some of my people can be extremely cruel to the natives of Tier 4D. However, I am not one of them. I believe that knowledge is the greatest treasure of all, but it is gained through discussion, not slaughter.
You said you wanted to warn us about something.
There is an emissary from my nation here in Yuxantis, and she's a member of a faction that has a very contemptuous view of those from your island. They believe your people should be enslaved, or worse yet, used for experiments. This emissary isn't alone. There are guards with her. I wanted to warn you to be careful. It's very possible that she means to harm you.
Why have you come to warn us? You don't know us. We're nobody to you.
I'm a traveler. I've met people from many countries and cultures, and I've always enjoyed these encounters. When I met the emissary from the Alliance, I quickly realized which faction she belonged to, though outwardly, she appears friendly. They believe themselves to be superior, and this belief leads them to look down on everyone else. These people are a plague on the Alliance. They undermine it from within, convinced they're furthering its cause. Personally, I believe in what the Alliance represents. The true Alliance, that is. And I despise their attitude towards others. That's why I wanted to warn you.
Welcome to the Fishing Mermaid. What'll it be?
Thank you. Goodbye.
Come back soon.
It's not that I don't like to talk about personal things in front of everyone, but we should wait until we're somewhere else.
Not now. We'll speak when we're someplace quiet.
I can't do it.
It's not that I don't like to talk about personal things in front of everyone, but we should wait until we're...
Our hosts might frown on us stepping away to speak in private. We'd better wait until we're somewhere else.
Everything you need to make your own equipment, from potions to weapons and ammunition.
Welcome to Archibald's. Could I interest you in my potions, all of which are of the highest quality? I also have ingredients, if you prefer.
We'll leave you to your business.
Goodbye. Don't forget, if it's potions you're after, Archibald's is the place to be.
Come to Archibald's Paradise of Alchemy. Coatings and ingredients at the best price.
Hello? Welcome to my workshop. I'm the ink mistress, and before you ask, no, I don't tattoo foreigners.
Hello, mistress. I'm no foreigner. And the council sent me.
Alvida? Everyone's talking about you. Your father must be so proud. Sailing to our island in a skiff. I don't think I've ever recorded such a feat in ink. It will be an honor to mark you, Captain.
Thank you.
Now come over here and sit down. I hope your friends are patient. This is gonna take a while. There. Now everyone can take one look at you, and they'll know who you are and what you've accomplished. Take care of the ink for the next few days. The scars will be sore.
Oh, I know. I remember the last time I was here. Thank you, mistress. Goodbye.
Savages and traitors to their race! We'll teach you your true place.
Intruders!
My armor is broken! Show them what we're made of!
You're bleeding! Let me help you!
Now I'm going to have to buy some new... armor.
I'm the only one left to save...
Armor is broken!
Now I'm going to have to buy some new armor.
Let me help you! Tocavia.
Remain focused.
This armor is no good anymore!
I'm wounded! Someone heal me!
Is everyone all right?
Drop your weapons. You're under arrest.
Under arrest? For defending ourselves?
So you say. A witness came to tell us about a fight. We ran over and saw you kill those visitors. Just follow us, you lot, and don't make a fuss.
Wait, officer. This group is my responsibility. I've given my word as a captain. They are my guests.
Indeed. That's unfortunate. You should choose your friends more carefully. Round them all up!
Have you forgotten our laws, officer? You can only arrest the person who is responsible. Her guests are free.
These people have committed a serious crime. They murdered these visitors, and...
This may be a tragedy, but it doesn't change our laws. Only the captain will pay for the crime, if it is proven.
All right, then. Take the captain. As for you lot, I hope you realize what you've done.
Wait, where are you taking her?
She'll be held in the Harbor Master's office while she awaits her trial. I'll make sure you are able to speak with her if you wish.
We should go tell the others what happened.
Here.
Uncle Ludwig. Here. I don't believe it.
Rudolph, what are you doing here, my boy? Are you a naught now?
No! Don't you try and act like an uncle to me, after what you did to us. Come on, lads, let's get out of here. I don't want to be anywhere near that man. I could lose my temper.
But, Rudolph! I really wonder how the lad ended up here. But he's all right, at least, and he seems to take his work seriously, which is something.
My poor Ludwig. It seems your family is just as dysfunctional as mine. Tell me.
News travels quickly around here. We were attacked as we left the workshop with Alvida. A group of armed Alliance men attacked us and we were forced to defend ourselves. They all died. And the guards who arrived just seconds later accused us of murdering them. They wanted to throw us into prison again. The master of the shipyard stepped in. And since we are Alvida's guests, she was the only one of us arrested.
The Alliance doesn't seem to want to leave you in peace.
A woman we met after our meeting with the admirals warned us. She told us there was an Alliance emissary in Yuxantis, and that they might cause us serious problems.
We can't just stand by and let Alvida rot in jail. I already organized one jailbreak. Why not another?
We'd better go talk to her before we do any such thing.
Fausta's right. This is an island, so we won't be able to escape as easily as we did in Tainir. Alvida knows far better than we do how things work around here. Her advice will be most valuable.
We could try to find the lioness you spoke of, the one who warned us. She undoubtedly knows more than she told us.
Since you don't seem too keen on my idea of an escape plan, we could at least try to find some witnesses who saw what happened.
We could go and talk to the Ink Mistress. We were practically on our doorstep, so she must have seen something.
Hello? Looking to buy furniture? Hey, I recognize you. You're the captain's friends. The ones who were attacked earlier.
Were you there during the attack? Could you tell us exactly what you saw?
Yes. I'm at my workbench from sunup to sundown, and it happened right on my doorstep. So I saw everything. I heard those foreigners from the Alliance hurling insults, and I saw them attack. All you did was defend yourself. Then the guard came, followed by the master of the shipyard. And they took the captain away. I'm sorry about what happened to you.
That's wonderful. How fortunate. With your testimony, we'll have no trouble getting Alvida out of jail.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
How so?
I don't have a very good reputation. No one on the council will listen to me. And besides, I don't think Captain Alvida will let me take the stand to defend her. She despises me more than anyone else.
What do you mean?
I don't like to stir up the past, but you should know that I used to be a shipwright. I was respected, and my work was highly praised. Until the accident. It was a terrible accident. Since then, I haven't been allowed to touch a ship. I had to learn a new trade. And here I am in this shabby workshop, tinkering with chairs. My testimony would be worthless.
I understand. But we may have no choice but to call on you.
If you do, I'll be happy to testify to what I saw. But think hard before you call on me. My word could do you more harm than good.
We'll leave you to your work. Goodbye.
We should try to find out more about what this man did before we decide whether or not to use his testimony. Alvida will surely know.
Fish! Who wants fish?
Did you see the attack that took place in front of the Ink Mistress's shop?
No, I was in the back. I only saw the tail end of the fight. I saw the guards show up, followed by the master of the shipyard. But the Alliance men were already dead. You killed them all. Now, if you don't want any fish, I'd like to get back to work. Foreigners' affairs don't concern me.
Goodbye.
This breeze is invigorating, don't you think? It's been a long day. I can't wait to sit down at the tavern.
What do you want? I told you already. I don't tattoo foreigners.
We're looking for witnesses who saw the fight that took place in front of your workshop.
You're not going to kill me too, are you? I didn't see anything. After I finished Alvida's tattoo, I started cleaning my tools. I heard a commotion outside, but I didn't go out there. I'm not a guard, I'm an artist. Please don't hurt me.
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to help our friend Alvida, who's been arrested.
Really? Since the attack, everyone's been saying that the foreigners on the island are just there to cause chaos. And to rob and kill us.
Rest assured, that is not our aim.
At any rate, I wasn't lying. I heard noises, yes, but I didn't see anything. I didn't go outside.
What kind of noise? What exactly do you remember?
Let me think. I remember the door closing. I was picking up my tools when I heard someone shouting. Just after that, I could hear fighting. Then things calmed down and I heard the guard arresting someone. You, most likely.
Do you remember what was shouted?
I didn't hear everything. It wasn't very clear. I think I heard the words savage and traitor. And then something about a place?
They did indeed insult us before attacking us. And since you heard the sounds of fighting after that first sentence, it contradicts the testimony that we attacked those people for no reason. I know it's a lot to ask, but I need you to repeat what you just told us in front of the council. Alvida shouldn't have to pay for the misdeeds of the foreigners who wanted to settle their score with us.
All right. I'll testify if you call me as a witness. I admire Alvida. She doesn't deserve this.
If these people can explain what happened, we should surely be able to get Olvido out of prison.
One of the witnesses is considered unreliable, and the other didn't see anything. It's not much, but it's better than nothing.
wooden axes! Looking for a sword? Or how about some reinforced armor? I've got everything you need.
I'm sorry, emissary, but all we could do was arrest the knot who was vouching for the foreigners who murdered your men. The others are free. For now.
I find your laws unjust. The poor captain obviously didn't know who she was dealing with. But Well, look who's here. The savage murderous brute we were just talking about. You must know that I won't let you get away with murdering my men. And I won't let this poor captain pay for your crimes either.
Essa quen moi name natremo lion. Ma clausum dat sies vreugum se gante camorto sidi.
Sir, I would like to know if you...
I've got nothing to say to you. Because of your savagery, one of our sisters is in jail. Get out of here!
This charming, biased bunch won't help us at all. Come on, let's go see Alvida.
That's right. Go and mock the woman who's rotting in prison because of you. See you at your trial.
We should try to learn more about this woman and what she's doing here.
I'm sorry for what happened to you and Captain Alvida, but I can't help you. It's up to you to prove your innocence.
locked up in here when you've just been named captain. It's just a bad storm to weather. I'm sure my friends
will do everything they can to steer me out of here.
I hope so, for them as well as for you. If the trial turns out badly, you won't be able to protect them any longer. There you are. I'm glad Alvida wasn't wrong about you. And you're just in time. I'm going to need your help. The Alliance's emissary has decided to support the murder charge against you. For our young captain's sake, I've decided to defend you. I know our laws well, but I'm going to need evidence and witnesses.
What other evidence or testimony should we look for?
Any witnesses who could give a different version of the events would be helpful. I doubt there's much physical evidence to be found, unless it was a setup. And in that case, there were most likely messages sent that you might be able to get your hands on.
The head guard mentioned a witness who alerted them and told them that we attacked those men. We tried to find out who it was, but he wouldn't tell us.
If I was being generous, I'd say it was to protect the witness. But in truth, our dear head guard hates foreigners. He's furious and frustrated that he couldn't put you in jail and had to lock Alvida up instead. If you need to find out more about this witness, and I do agree that it's a very relevant lead, then I'd recommend trying to get him drunk. He can often be found at the tavern, drowning his bitterness in ale.
Thank you for defending us.
Of course, I don't trust this emissary, and I like Alvida. I'll let you talk to your friend now. But don't forget to come back here once you've gathered enough evidence to exonerate yourselves. Once you've done that, we'll start the trial. See you later, my young friends, and good luck.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
As well as possible. Locked up in a cell. I can't complain. Since I'm a captain, I'm treated with respect. In any case, it looks like it's my turn to need help getting out of jail.
We found witnesses who saw what happened.
I knew you would.
You were right. But the only person who saw the whole thing told us his testimony would be of no use.
Why? Who is it?
A carpenter. A former shipwright, if he's to be believed.
Don't say another word. I know who you're talking about. Silvio. It really does seem like the odds are stacked against us. Oh, I can't believe it. Of all the people in Yuxantis, it had to be this incompetent, murdering fool who witnessed the scene.
What did he do?
It's more a question of what didn't he do? He was a shipwright, like he told you. He was in charge of repairing ships before they set sail. My mother's ship, in particular. But he didn't do his job, whether out of laziness or negligence. At the very first storm she encountered, the ship sprang a leak and sank. I lost my mother because of him. And now you're telling me he's the only person who can prove our innocence?
I'm afraid so. The Ink Mistress only heard the fight, so her testimony won't help us much.
And this man's won't help us either. Since my mother's death, he was banned from working for the Knots. Why do you think he became a carpenter? Nobody trusts him anymore.
I understand your concern, and it's true that he's not the best witness we could hope for, but without him we have nothing. Please, we must let him report what he saw.
Fine. But we better have more evidence, because his word won't carry much weight. Who brought the Alliance men here? And why did they attack us like that?
What should we do? We don't know the laws of this island.
Find witnesses. There must be some. If anyone saw what happened, they could clear up these accusations. If they take the stand and testify that these men attacked us, the charges will be dropped. Go to the Ink Mistress and speak to her, and her neighbors. It would also be interesting to find out who this famous eyewitness who warned the guards is. Whoever it is obviously lied to ensnare us in a trap. We need to find out who it is and why they did it.
On our way here, we saw a Bridge Alliance emissary speaking to the head of the guards who arrested you. I think it's the person that woman warned us about when we left the council. The men who attacked us were with her, and she will lead the prosecution.
She had to have been invited here by someone. You must find out who it was, and what she's doing here. If only you could prove she's behind it all.
We'll keep investigating.
Thank you for your help. When you've gathered enough evidence, go find the master of the shipyard. He's offered to defend us.
I can't do it.
understood correctly, we need to question the head guard to find out where we can find the liar who claims they saw us attack those people. I love toying with this kind of ball. Let's go to the tavern and then leave it to me. I'll make mincemeat of him.
You can't come in here. Move along.
Where could he be?
There's the head guard. I believe the woman from the Alliance, Safia, is over there. Since she's the one who warned us, maybe she can tell us more about the emissary.
Oh, please, let me talk to the head guard. I know I can get him to tell me everything she knows about the liar who's falsely accused us.
I'm happy to see you're back, and in one piece. When I heard there'd been a fight among foreigners, I was afraid it might be you.
It was us. Your people attacked us. The guards of this city arrived too late and they accused us. They locked Olvida up, but we were the ones they wanted to punish for defending ourselves against the Lions.
I'm very sorry. I suspected that Zahid's presence in Yuxantis might cause problems. Is there anything I can do to help?
What can you tell us about this woman?
I must admit that knowing she was here gave me reason for concern. So I tried to find out who invited her. Apparently, it was one of the admirals, to strengthen the trade relations between the Alliance and the Nauts. That idea worried me even more. I don't know how much you know about the Bridge Alliance, or the internal tensions simmering just below the surface there. Recently, a group has appeared on the scene, spreading disturbing ideas. They argue for Tynir's superiority over all other nations, especially the islanders of Teofredi. They're violent, and will stop at nothing to expand their influence, which remains fairly limited for now, thankfully. This woman is part of that group, and the fact that she's here to negotiate with the Nauts could prove dangerous for your people. Whether or not she's behind what happened, she's certain to use it against you.
Do you know where this emissary is staying?
Since she's part of an official delegation, she must be staying at the diplomat's house. However, you'll never get her to admit her involvement just by talking to her. I'm afraid you'll have to find a more indirect method. The innkeeper here is in charge of delivering food to all the buildings where foreigners are staying. Maybe he could help you enter her quarters discreetly.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. I despise this woman and everything she stands for. I hope you can prove your innocence. Oh, I just thought of something. I don't know if this will be of any use to you, but I saw her leaving town once, which intrigued me. A diplomat who's here on official business would have no reason to go inland. I have no idea what she planned to do there, but maybe it would be worthwhile finding out.
Thank you for your help. See you later. According to Safia, the innkeeper could help us get into the diplomat's house.
You again? This tavern used to be a place you could drink in peace. Even here, these pesky foreigners seem bent on stirring up trouble.
Look, I understand that your duty sometimes requires you to do things you don't approve of. Locking up Captain Olvida over a fight between foreigners. It's infuriating.
Absolutely. You're the ones who should be in jail.
Perhaps. But if we were to defend our friend properly, we need to know everything. We need to be able to question all the witnesses, including the one who came to get you.
Ah, I don't like it. But it makes sense. Fine. It's a longshoreman from the docks. You'll find him in the warehouses. I hope you're able to remain civil when you talk to him. Otherwise, I'll find out, and it would only add to the charges.
We've got to flush that rat out of the warehouse where he's hiding.
Although it would be extremely difficult for me to stomach, if we want to be inconspicuous, we should dress like poor workers.
Have you made up your mind? Are you gonna buy this weapon or not?
Sapper. Welcome, strangers. If you're looking for ore or exotic skins, you've come to the right place. I even have ingredients for alchemists. Please, look around, take your time.
Dressed like those people who work on building sites, no one would notice us.
I can't do it.
Hey! Who goes there?
Let's show them what we're about.
Although it would be extremely difficult for me to stomach, If we want to be inconspicuous, we should dress like poor workers.
I can't do it.
Another filthy rat gnawing at the rigging.
Hey, you! What are you doing here? You are not allowed in the warehouses. You better leave if you don't want me to call the guard.
We've come to see you because we know you have to testify against us. The head guard told us where to find you.
Yeah? So what? What do you want?
You lied and you know it. You went there when the attack took place. So let me give you a piece of advice. Take the first ship off this island and forget all about your false testimony.
Why would I do that?
We killed a group of well-trained Alliance men, and many more before them. Do you really think you stand a chance against us?
No, of course not. There's a ship leaving tonight. I'll be aboard. Just leave me alone, please.
If it weren't for this Viper's lies, we'd be certain to get justice.
I can't do it.
You can't come in here. Move along. Are you lost? Do you need directions?
In preparation for Captain Alvida's trial, the Alliance's envoy summoned us here.
Oh, really? I wasn't told about that. And the envoy isn't here. You should come back later.
It's very important. Captain Alvida is counting on us to clear her name. Can we come inside and wait for her here?
If it's to help the captain, then yes. Come in. But wait in the hallway.
These are the emissary's notes. They were used to prepare for our trial. The identity and location of the witness we met are in here. There's a report here that the emissary hasn't yet sent, as well as a few letters. I should take the time to read them carefully. The emissary mentioned some business she had someplace in land. We should try to find out precisely where. I can't do it.
Archibald's potions are the best in Yuxantis.
Hello. Welcome back to my stall.
You're not from around here.
Good grief, this whole affair is messed up. My companions must be waiting for me in the Dootan Empire. No offense intended, but I really hadn't planned to join you for so long.
If I've understood correctly, you're from the land they call Dutton.
That's right. The Holy Dootan Empire. I suppose you'd like me to tell you more about it. It could be a beautiful place to live. It's vast, full of beautiful forests and rich lands. That's most likely because it's soaked in the blood of the poor souls who were sacrificed to the folly of the powerful. For my country has always been at war. Or at least it has been for so long that no person alive knows the meaning of the word peace. We're at war with the Alliance, of course, as the Dootan Empire follows the path of the Enlightened. But we are also at war with ourselves. Ever since a new holy man challenged the organization of all things spiritual as imposed by Ptolemy, the nobles and princes have taken sides, following whoever best serves their interests, of course. And as usual, the people are those who pay the price. Not only are they sent to the slaughter against the Alliance troops, they must also shed blood at home by killing their brethren in the service of the local noblemen and their loyalties of the day. A beautiful country indeed.
See you later.
Of course.
You wanted to speak to me?
Yes. I owe you an apology. And my thanks. I killed your friend back on the island. And I'm responsible for capturing you. I don't expect you to forgive me. I was following orders. And trying to protect my men. And as a result, not only did I hurt some good people, but now they're all dead. I lost everything. I'm nothing now. I know it's no excuse for what I did to you, and that my present situation won't bring you any comfort. But know that I'll do everything I can to repay my debt to you.
The man you killed on that island was not only our friend. He was our master. You are the reason we were uprooted from our land. And Sheda died too. I do not know why Alvida decided to save you. I would have let you die.
I understand. I too would have let the man who killed my master die.
My uncle would have had you drawn and quartered for your crimes, but not before torturing you to reveal everything you know about our enemy first. But perhaps you will prove forthcoming, without us having to torment you.
I'll tell you everything you want to know. The man who followed you is named Kernaz. And I owe him nothing.
Kernaz, you say? So it's him.
Your hands are stained with the blood of our people. But you have also lost much. I accept your apology.
You won't regret it.
Good boy, Till.
See you soon.
I miss Sheda so much. Sometimes something happens to us, and I go to tell her about it before realizing that she'll never be able to listen to me again. It's like a stab to the heart. Every time.
See you later. Boy. We'll have to be careful. We're not supposed to be here. Look out. Guards. We'll have to be careful. We're not supposed to be here.
What's that noise?
Be quiet. We don't want to be overheard.
I think
I can't do it. This is some sort of contract between the emissary and Duarte, the false witness. It's all very clear. She paid him to alert the head guard and to tell him he'd seen us attacking the others. There's even a bonus fee for going to Troy. There's also a note. Undoubtedly for a future report. It explains the entire plan. I should read it in more detail. This could turn the tables at the Troy.
You're back. Have you found anything new?
We searched the emissary's room in town. We found a handful of interesting papers. First of all, the location where we can find the supposed witness who set the guards on us.
Excellent. Did you find anything else?
There was also a document which alluded to business she may be carrying out in the wilds of the island.
It makes you wonder why they need to hide like that. It's certainly worth looking into.
Finally, we found correspondence with an admiral.
Who?
Barcelos. He invited this Bridge Alliance delegation to Uxantis. According to the letter, they're doing business together.
Barcelos? How ironic.
What do you mean?
Admiral Barcelos is my father. I've always tried so hard to break free from his shadow and earn the respect of my peers on my own merits. I didn't want anyone to think I was advancing in the guild because of him. And now you have proof that he's connected to these eels from the Bridge Alliance.
We searched the emissary's room in town. We found a handful of interesting... First of all, the location where we can find the supposed witness who set the guards on us.
Excellent. Did you find anything else?
There was also a document which alluded to business she may be carrying out in the wilds of the island.
It makes you wonder why they need to hide like that. It's certainly worth looking into.
Finally, we found correspondence with an admiral.
Who?
Barcelos. He invited this Bridge Alliance delegation to Uxantis. According to the letter, they're doing business together.
Barcelos? How ironic.
What do you mean? We followed the clues we found in the emissary's quarters. It led us to a sort of hidden warehouse in the wilds of the island.
There have always been Knots who supplement their pay by smuggling. It's pitiful.
This warehouse was where the emissary met with her Knot allies in secret. We discovered papers that proved that this whole affair was fabricated to discredit the Tirfradians. It's a way for the emissary to ensure that the Knots don't bear us excessive sympathy, because that could endanger their trade on Tirfradi.
So that's what it's all about. They used us to ensure that no Knots would refuse to kidnap natives from their own land. Oh, what scum. That said, it was smart. More and more Knots are concerned about what's happening to your people. Well done. Confronted with this evidence, their scheme will collapse.
We also found documents that indicate Admiral Barcelos is involved with these dealings. However, he doesn't seem to know anything about their plans regarding us.
I would have been surprised if he had.
We discovered who lied to the guards to get them to come. It was a worker from the docks. He works for your father, so all it took was telling him he was putting you in danger for him to recant his testimony.
Oh, I wish you didn't have to use my connection to my father to resolve this. I'm so tired of his name always being dragged into things. Alvida? Oh, yes. The Admiral's daughter. But I know you did your best. And without the false witness, their accusations won't hold. Thank you.
We followed the clues we found in the emissary's quarters. It led us to a sort of...
There have always been Knots who supplement their...
It's a way for the... Because that could in...
So that... Oh, that said, well...
We all... How... We'll keep investigating.
There you are. Any news? Preparations are underway on my side, but without your help, I'll have trouble defending you.
We found 2 witnesses who could vouch for us. The ink mistress, who heard the scene though she couldn't see it, and the carpenter who witnessed the whole thing. However, the carpenter warned us that his word would carry little weight.
What can the ink mistress report?
That she heard one of the men from the Bridge Alliance insult us before the attack.
So that contradicts the idea that this was an unwarranted attack, but it doesn't justify murder. And this carpenter?
He witnessed the whole thing and can confirm our innocence. But he told us that his testimony wouldn't help us.
I know who you're talking about, and he's not wrong. His past actions mean he's hardly credible. And his support for Alvida could easily be called into question. So if I were you, I'd think twice before putting him on the stand. It would be better to find other evidence or find the prosecution's infamous witness before going to trial.
We've spoken to the prosecution's witness, who won't be testifying at the trial.
Excellent. I hope you didn't use any underhanded methods that could backfire. But this will give you a much better chance at clearing your names, as the emissary will have nothing to back up her accusations. The whole affair seems suspicious, but the witness's reversal makes me think there's more to it than that. Some dark plot whose inner workings we may never understand.
We discovered that the emissary has a hideout outside the city where she carried out business deals. She had documents there proving beyond doubt that she was behind the whole thing.
I suspected as much. But why would she do that?
So that the Knots would have no sympathy for my people. That they would think we are savages, and would have no second thoughts about participating in our destruction.
It's horrifying. And I'm furious at the idea that someone could have tried to manipulate our people in this way. This emissary won't get away with it. I promise.
I don't know anything about your justice system. What will happen during the trial?
Everything takes place in the Admiral's Council Chamber, which you've already visited. The prosecution, represented by the Alliance's emissary, will present their evidence and their witnesses. We'll be able to cross-examine them, of course, and I'll follow your instructions. Then we'll present our own evidence and witnesses, so all you have to do is tell me who to call and what to present. The witnesses and evidence will be cross-examined by the emissary, who will do everything in her power to find weaknesses in them. Finally, the Council will present its decision, which will hopefully be in our favor.
What are the consequences if we lose?
As a rule, we don't sentence foreigners to death. It would be too risky since we're too dependent on our wealthy clients. But since you're accused of murder, you could end up in jail for a long time, or banished from Yuxantis for life if you're lucky. For Alvida, things are a little different. Although it's rare for a Knot to be sentenced to death for the murder of a foreigner. But if we lose, she'll lose everything. Her rank, her freedom. I hope it doesn't come to that.
We still have more to do and more evidence to find. We'll come back to see you later.
There you are. Any news? Preparations are underway on my side, but without your help, I'll have trouble defending you.
We think we're ready for the trial.
I think we have more than enough to clear you. Remember to give me all the documents I'll need to show, as well as the names of the witnesses, and we can go. Don't forget that during the trial, it will be up to you to tell me who to call and what to share.
Defendants, take your seats. The trial is about to begin. We are gathered here before Admirals Cabral and Barcelos. I shall be representing the inhabitants of this island. Our aim is to clarify the events that took place in front of the Ink Mistress's workshop, which led to the deaths of several of the Bridge Alliance emissaries' escorts. The emissary will represent the prosecution. Is the emissary here and ready to present her arguments?
I am. And I will prove, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that these savages murdered my escort and brought chaos to this island.
The defendants are Captain Alvida and the group of foreigners who are her guests. They are represented by the master of the shipyard.
We are also ready.
Very well. The prosecution has the floor.
Your honors, Noughts, I come here to seek justice for the lives of my men who were murdered on your streets. And I will prove to you that these savages are the killers.
Please explain how your men ended up in this part of town, when they were supposed to be part of your escort.
I'd given them the afternoon off, so I assume they were sightseeing. That's when they were attacked by these islanders and their companions.
Why would they do that?
Because they're savages. Ever since my people first set foot on Tir Fredi, we witnessed nothing but savagery. They constantly reject any form of progress. They kill people, massacre them if need be, and then pass themselves off as victims. They lure far more sophisticated people into their nets and make them pay for their crimes. Which explains why these eminent representatives of other peoples from the continent, as well as Captain Alvida, are here.
This whole speech sounds like an indictment, but you haven't provided any evidence.
This is true. Do you have any evidence or witnesses to call?
I do. I call Longshoreman Duarte to the stand.
Well, where is your witness, emissary?
I don't have the slightest idea.
You're wasting our time, emissary. Do you have any other witnesses?
I'll call the head guard.
The head guard didn't show up until after the fight.
Don't worry. We can cross-examine him if you wish.
Very well. Can you tell us what you witnessed that day?
We were on patrol in the neighborhood, and a longshoreman came to tell us that some savages had attacked a group of Alliance foreigners. We got there as quickly as we could, but by the time we arrived, the savages were putting away their weapons and the others were lying dead on the ground.
Is there any way they could have just been passing by and had drawn their weapons to assist my men?
No, they were covered in the men's blood, and we saw them finish off the last one as we approached. I'm sorry. I wish we'd gotten there sooner. We could have saved your men.
You did your duty. What could you have possibly done in the face of such savagery? What happened next?
We wanted to arrest them, but the master of the shipyard intervened and reminded us that we could only arrest the captain.
A law that's difficult to swallow when it's obvious that the ones it benefits are the true culprits, and the innocent must shoulder the burden of their crimes.
In the context of this court, you will abstain from criticizing our laws, emissary.
Of course. Forgive me. I have no further questions for this witness.
Does the defense wish to question the witness?
Ask him if he can confirm who started the attack.
According to your own testimony, you did not witness the attack, yet you arrested the captain.
Well, those men have been killed, and it was obvious that the captain and her friends were responsible for their deaths.
Really? Would the scene you discovered have been different if these people were the victims of a vicious attack and were only defending themselves?
I suppose the scene would have been the same, yes. But the longshoreman?
Since the longshoreman isn't here, what he told you can't be trusted. What was the first thing the defendants said to you when you tried to arrest them?
They were only defending themselves.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Now that the prosecution has presented its evidence and witnesses, it's time for the defense to present its case.
It's our turn now. What would you like us to present first? I call the Ink Mistress to the stand. Can you tell us what happened during the attack in front of your workshop?
I was inside my workshop at the time of the attack, and unfortunately, I didn't see the fight.
That's a very useful testimony.
The prosecution will refrain from commenting until the floor is opened. Continue, Mistress.
I didn't see anything, but I did hear what happened. I clearly heard someone shouting something before the fighting started.
Can you tell us what was shouted?
Not entirely, but I distinctly heard the words savage and traitor.
It was the native who was shouting as he threw himself at my men.
No, I didn't recognize the voice. It wasn't any of the defendants. It was a different voice. What's more, I'd like to add that the defendants were thoughtful, not the savages they've been made out to be.
Thank you, Mistress. It seems clear that the attack was preceded by insults that were proffered by the emissary's men. This contradicts her version of the events.
I don't believe a word of it.
Madam, we have tolerated your repeated interruptions, despite our requests to respect the protocol. But we will not tolerate you questioning the word of an eminent figure on our island. Does the prosecution have any questions for this witness?
No, I have no questions for the venerable mistress.
Would you like to call Silvio the carpenter to testify?
I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I'll let you decide.
I don't know this island well enough, so I'll take Alvida's advice. We'd better not call him to the stand.
Although his testimony is the most complete, I agree with you.
Does the defense have any other witnesses to call?
I was thinking of calling Alvida to the stand. You were all witnesses, but her word carries more weight here than yours. What do you think?
Call Alvida. She can testify for us all.
I'm more than willing to answer your questions, and those of this snake.
I call the defendant, Captain Alvida, to the stand. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what happened that day, in your own words?
My name is Captain Alvida. I had just received my new ink when it happened.
Can you remind the court of what you did to earn this new rank?
I sailed from the coast of Tynea to Xantis in a fisherman's skiff.
A true feat. Please continue.
We barely set foot outside the Ink Mistress's shop when a group of Alliance men approached. One of them shouted at us that we were savages and traitors to our people, and that they were going to show us our true place. Then they attacked us. Fortunately, we were able to defeat them. It was only then that the head guard arrived. He wanted to arrest everyone, and you stopped him. So, I was the only one who was taken to jail, since my friends here were my guests.
Thank you, Captain. I have no further questions.
Does the prosecution have any questions for this witness?
Of course. Captain, are you sure your savage friend here didn't attack my men before you had time to see it? You wouldn't be the first person to trust in these animals and be betrayed by them.
I'm absolutely certain that the events took place just as I described them. And please don't compare my friend to an animal.
Then how do you explain that a Nort longshoreman alerted the head guard and pointed you out as the attackers?
The only explanation is that he was lying.
And who's to say you're not the one who's lying? Your hands are red with the blood of my men.
Emissary, please control yourself. If you show disrespect to the witness again, we will put an end to this trial immediately.
Please, forgive me. I have no further questions.
Master, we have no further witnesses.
We shall now proceed to show our evidence.
We would now like to present some evidence that has come to light in the course of our investigation.
Evidence? Evidence of what?
Emissary, the defense has the floor. Please allow the master of the shipyard to present his case.
I have here a document signed by this very emissary, which mentions an agreement with a certain Duarte, who works as a longshoreman. The document states that this man is to alert the head guard that an attack is taking place against the Alliance's men. It also states that he will have to testify before this court and specifically identify the natives from Tir Fredi as being behind the attack. The reward for this service is a very substantial sum of money.
It must be a forgery. A forgery created by the defendants to escape a fair punishment.
As our master librarian is a handwriting specialist, I suggest that he examine this contract and give us his expert opinion on the matter.
I will look into this during the deliberations. Have you found any other evidence?
We would like to present this report, which was found in a hideout, where this very emissary was participating in suspicious activities.
How dare you? What kind of scandalous accusation is that?
Explain yourself, Master of the Shipyard. It is highly unusual to describe the person representing the prosecution in this manner.
How else can I describe the activities that required the emissary to travel to an obscure cabin in the inland territory? Not to mention the fact that this report describes these activities in great detail.
Lies, lies, and more lies. An outrageous forgery.
Let the defense continue.
The emissary and her men were obviously making deals with some of our more law-averse Nauts to smuggle contraband.
For shame. Master, I'm counting on you to give us these documents so that we can find the culprits.
Yes. We won't let a few bad apples spoil the guild's reputation.
And just how did you find this obviously forged report?
You may ask your questions when the defense has finished. Carry on, Master of the Shipyard.
In addition to the highly instructive explanations of their smuggling activities, these documents also include a very important element that is of interest in these proceedings. The attack is clearly planned out in detail. The head guard was to be alerted as soon as it took place. If the Alliance men were able to kill the natives, the captain and her companions, then the testimony of the longshoreman and the head guard was to have cleared them of any suspicion. If not, well, we've all seen how the rest of the plan was to play out.
Nonsense! This is unacceptable!
Why would the emissary have planned such a dire scheme that would surely put the lives of her men at risk?
The report is very clear on this point. The aim was to decidedly tarnish the natives' reputation in our eyes. Some are starting to raise their voices here against what's happening in Tir Fredi, especially concerning the deportation of the natives. If we all thought the natives were savages and beasts, we'd have fewer scruples about dealing with them. Wouldn't we?
That's exactly what they are!
That's
Animals.
enough, ma'am. How dare you?
We will study this report carefully. And if it proves to be true, you'll be the one to answer for it.
Master, do you have any further evidence to submit?
No. We have nothing further to present to the court.
We have nothing more to add.
The defense has presented all of its evidence, and will now defer to the council's judgment.
In that case, we will now take leave to deliberate.
Can't I plead my case?
If you were hoping to make a case for your ideas, you should know that's not how things work around here. The witnesses and the evidence are presented, and anyone can examine and refute them, but the final decision is the council's. We'll return once a unanimous decision has been made. The council has come to a decision, and I'll let Admiral Cabral announce the verdict.
Given the evidence that was presented, we have come to the conclusion that the defendants are innocent.
This is a travesty.
Silence. We don't have enough evidence to prove your responsibility in this tragic affair. However, we shall keep a close eye on you from now on, so you'll have a Nort escort with you at all times. I advise you to finish your business here quickly and return to Tynea as soon as possible. And don't even think about troubling our exonerated guests again.
The council has ruled, and the court is adjourned.
You're free, and may do as you please until you're ready to board your ship, Captain. Despite the trial, I've had the shipyard working on it, and it'll be ready to sail with the tide tomorrow.
Captain, I know what you think of me, what everyone thinks of me. But could I have a word with you?
What is it?
I hear you're looking for your mother's logbook. I know where it is.
Is that so? How could you possibly know that?
I'll tell you when the time comes, but not here. Meet me at the tavern when you're done.
I don't trust you, Silvio, but I'll come. It would be wrong not to hear you out at least once.
There you are. Any...
Defendants, take your...
I don't have the... Very well.
Can you tell it?
Call the cop.
Of course. Can you tell us where you were when the attack took place?
I was in my workshop, which is partly open to the outside. It's across from the Ink Mistress's workshop.
So, you saw the whole thing. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, I saw everything. I saw the defendants leaving the Mistress's workshop. Then a group of armed men in Alliance uniforms appeared. They called the group savages and traitors and attacked them on sight. The defendants were forced to defend themselves. They were much better fighters than their attackers and had no trouble defeating them.
Lies! My trained soldiers would never have been defeated by this savage and his followers if they hadn't been taken by surprise.
Silence! Let the witness finish.
Then the head guard and his men showed up. So did you, Master. And they arrested the captain.
I have no further questions for this witness. After listening to this testimony, it seems clear to me that the defendants were attacked, and that they therefore are not to blame.
Does the prosecution wish to question the witness?
Absolutely. You're a carpenter now. But what did you do before that?
I was a shipwright.
That's a far more noble and respected profession in Yuxantis. What happened to you?
I lost my job and my rank after one of the ships I'd worked on sank. I was blamed for the loss of the ship and the deaths of the crew.
Tell me, who was the captain of this ship?
The ship's captain was named Estrella.
She was Captain Alvida's mother. Isn't it only natural that this man, who feels like he owes a debt to the captain, the same captain who risks paying a high price for her guests' violence, would take the stand and lie for her in order to make up for it? Can you believe a man who was responsible for the deaths of an entire crew?
I warned you.
Do you have any further questions for this witness, emissary?
No. I'm done with him.
Does the defense have any other witnesses to call?
I was thinking of calling Alvida to the stand. You were up. Call.
I'm Ab.
Ma. Up.
We have nothing more to add.
The defense.
The council has come to a decision. I now give the floor to Admiral Cabral, who will announce the verdict.
Thank you. The trial was a farce. It was an obvious attempt to use the Nauts to further the political ambitions of certain factions of the Alliance.
I protest!
We will not stand for it. We find Captain Alvida and her companions innocent, of course, and the Alliance emissary and her retinue are henceforth banished from Yuxantis.
Banished? If you think we're going to accept...
Silence! This is our island. You shall respect our laws. You will be taken back to the mainland as soon as possible. And a thorough investigation will be carried out to identify and bring to justice all those who colluded with you.
The council has ruled, and the court is adjourned.
You're free, and may do as you please, and despite the trial,
Captain, I know what you think of me, what everyone thinks of me. But could I have a word with you?
What is it?
I hear you're looking for your mother's logbook.
Is that so?
Oh.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for getting me out of there. I'm sorry that even here, you've once again been victim to the Alliance's evil schemes. But I'll get you home. I swore I would do it, and I shall. Tomorrow, we'll have a ship. And even if I can't take you to Tier 4D straight away, it's a first step.
Why do we not leave now? You say you want to take us home, but in the next breath, you tell us we have to wait.
Because this kind of expedition is incredibly expensive. Sailing to Tier 4D takes months and costs a fortune. You're going to need a protector. A patron. But don't look at me. I don't have a coin to my name. My family does, though.
I know someone who wants to go home, too.
Not in the least. I'm very happy to be here with you. You're far less dangerous than my uncle.
We can choose our destination once we're aboard the ship. In the meantime, we can take a break at the tavern, or go for a walk. Anything you like. As long as there are no bars on the windows.
Wait. I'm sorry. I overheard your conversation. I'd like to accompany you. Even if I have to wait, I'd like to go to Tier 4D with you.
There are enough of your people on our island already.
And you can surely find another ship. The Alliance regularly funds crossings to Hikmet.
That's true. I could probably find backing for a map-making mission, but I'd have to make compromises I'm not willing to make with people I despise. Please, let me prove that not all of my people are manipulators and forces of destruction.
She did warn us and helped us with the framing. And having an ally in the Alliance could be useful.
The best I can do is to offer to let you come aboard my ship. Whether or not you can be a part of our group is a decision that's for the others to make. So, what can you tell me? Thank you for coming. Silvio was just going to tell me where he thinks I might find my mother's logbook.
Tomorrow, you'll be given a ship. Your mother's ship, to be precise.
But I thought it was lost in the storm.
Lost? No. But it did suffer tremendous damage. It's been recovered and repaired. As you know, I was the shipwright working on her ship. Before her accident, your mother asked me to build her a cache. A cache in her cabin. Just big enough to hold a logbook. If her logbook still exists, it must be there.
Why did you come to find Alvida now? Why didn't you tell her about this earlier?
The trial undoubtedly roused his remorse.
It has nothing to do with the trial. Even if I would have liked to have had a louder voice to help save you from this masquerade. If I've come now, it's because you are going to take possession of the Constancia. You, on your mother's ship. It's too good an opportunity to miss. For I know that the captain's logbook will prove my innocence.
What do you know of Alvida's mother's fate?
Unfortunately, everyone knows what happened and who is responsible.
I have always worked my hardest on all the ships I was assigned to, and I would never have let your mother, for whom I had great respect, go to sea on a dangerous ship. I don't know what happened. There weren't many survivors, and I never had the chance to talk to them. According to the official report, the weakened ship was unable to weather the storm, and for that reason it ran aground not far from the island, resulting in the death of the captain and some of her crew. But I know that's impossible.
Didn't you lose your position because of what happened to the Constancia?
Indeed. Admiral Barcelos found me guilty of what had happened to the captain. I think he even suspects me of having done it on purpose. But since there was no real evidence against me, they just banned me from working on ships.
Thank you for answering our questions.
I still don't trust you, Silvio. But I'll check the cabin on the Constantia once we're on board.
Oh, I sincerely hope that the logbook is still there. Because then everyone will see that I was falsely accused. I'll go back to my workshop now. Thank you for listening.
I wanted to tell you how sorry I am about what happened to your friend Shada. Losing her must have been terrible. You were close, and she died in such an unfair, cruel way. I am so sorry for your loss. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'd be very happy to listen.
What were you doing on the ship that kidnapped us, if you didn't approve of their actions?
When you're a common sailor, you can't choose which ship you embark on. And you can't choose your missions, or what you're transporting. Like most Knots, I disapprove of carrying forced passengers. And believe me, I said just that to my captain at the time. But alas, he's the kind of person who puts profit above conscience, enriching the guild rather than adhering to its original spirit. I'll do my best to redeem my people and convince them to stop the trafficking.
Have you and Sybil known each other for a long time?
We met a few years ago, when I was a deckhand on the ship that brought her to Alima. We hit it off right away. And we saw each other several times while she was working. We became friends. And when I was looking for a way to get you out of jail, she was the first person who came to mind. She's resourceful, but also funny. You should see her impression of her uncle. She's incredible.
I had no idea there were so many natives of my island on this continent. Did you know?
I suspected as much. I know the ship I served on is far from the only one transporting your people. Transporting. Kidnapping would be more accurate, wouldn't it? However, I would never have imagined that our crimes were so great. And that we'd brought so many here. It shames and angers me. I'm so dreadfully sorry that our guild is involved in this.
What can you tell me about Yuxantis?
Our island is quite far from the mainland. Its land is poor, and its waters are terribly dangerous. Also, the people who live there have always been exceptional fishermen and sailors. Their survival depended on it. This talent made them useful to the mainlanders. And one day, the sailors decided to unite into a guild. And the Knots quickly became not only sailors, but also shipbuilders. We build the ships, weave the sails, and braid the ropes on our island. Nowadays, not all Yuxantians are sailors, but they all still depend on the wealth of our guild. And for those who sail the seas, it's a home port. Their only true home beyond the waves.
You must be very proud to have been named captain.
Oh, of course. And I'm all the more proud that I got my new rank as a result of an achievement. That's not always the case, you know. Sometimes the only thing that counts is your length of service. But this rank offers me such an opportunity. I'll finally be able to make my voice heard on things that are important to me. Maybe I'll be able to convince the guild to stop its involvement in human trafficking. In any case, I'll do everything in my power to make that happen.
I won't bother you any longer.
See you soon.
If we keep this up, I'll end up becoming a real specialist in escaping prison by any means possible. That being said, I'm really glad that we got my dear Alvida out of this jail.
You seem very proud of your family. They rule over a city, if I understand correctly.
The ancient city of Peren, the oldest inhabited city on the continent, if local legend is to be believed. My family, the de Vesps, have been merchant princes there for generations. No other family in the city would be mad or suicidal enough to claim the title anyway. You see, my family has made assassination their art and manipulation their language. And an unquenchable thirst for power pulses through our veins. However, we are no longer the leaders of the congregation, as Peren has lost some of its influence. That honor belongs to the Dorsays, the princes of Serene. And of course, every member of our family has sworn to take the title from them. My uncle is His Highness Alexandre de Vespe I, assisted in his sinister plans by my cousin Octave, whose name alone is enough to make one tremble in fear. Between you and me, they're all obsessive murderers who have been driven mad by inbreeding and idleness. But their name still opens many doors, which could be useful to us.
You mentioned you were a diplomat in Olima. What exactly was your role?
I was the legate, which is a way of saying I was the congregation's ambassador to Olima, at your service. I represented our nation in this great city, which, while though it's not a capital, is a major city in the Bridge Alliance. My job there was to further the congregation's commercial and diplomatic interests. I had to make sure certain agreements were reached, and sometimes I had to keep others from being signed. It's a rather boring job, to be honest. The only good part about it is that you're invited to attend ever so many parties and banquets.
You called Alvida a good friend. However, did a diplomat and a Nord become close?
I met Alvida when she was a sailor on the ship that took me to Olima. We hit it off quickly, even though it may be hard to believe when you look at me today. I was a little nervous at the idea of being all alone in a foreign country. She introduced me to the beauty of travel and discovery. We met again in Olima later, when she was visiting. During one of our last encounters, she helped me out of a tricky situation, even though she didn't have to. It was the first time someone had done something for me without expecting anything in return. That's rare, especially when you're a de Vespe. My, just listen to me, getting all sentimental. The reason doesn't matter much in the end. We're friends, that's all.
What do you think about the Nords and their city?
I've known the Norts Guild for a long time, and I've had the opportunity to meet many of its members. But I must admit that it's rather different to see them at home in Yuxantis, and to see the organization that governs their world firsthand. Their bizarre hierarchy based on merit, these admirals and ink masters, the library, the shipyard, and this town that seems to be built from old ships. It's so quaint.
Let's talk about it later.
Always at your service.
Welcome to the Fishing Mermaid. What'll it be?
Thank you. Goodbye.
Come back soon. We're open at all hours.
My daughter's strange companions. I suppose I owe you an apology. If I hadn't been involved with that emissary, you wouldn't have had to prove your innocence in this mess. Take time to rest and celebrate the end of this sordid affair. Now, Unless you have any questions.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Alvida left for the port at dawn. She was excited to see a... ship at last. Are we going to meet her?
There you are. I'm happy to see you out of that courtroom and cleared of those ridiculous accusations. Captain Alvida has already returned to her ship and is busy preparing for your journey. When you're ready, just say the word and we'll take you aboard too.
We're ready.
In that case, climb into this boat and it will take you aboard. Godspeed.
Well, what do you think of my ship? It's quite the change from that old skiff. This one even has a cabin.
Yes, it is a fine vessel. But when will you take us back?
As soon as I can pay the crew and stock the old with food for the trip.
My family would certainly be able to finance the journey. Especially since it would be an opportunity for them to compete with the Dorsays. They're a rival family who rule over the cities of Serene and New Serene. Come to think of it, they too could finance our trip, I suppose. They certainly have the means.
That would entail going to Peren, wouldn't it? I wouldn't mind going there too. There's someone there I need to see.
Really? Someone from Teleme, I presume?
Yes. A man of the cloth who might be able to help me get home. A certain Father Cardinal Pius.
I've heard of him. A charming old man who lives like a monk, I believe.
Yes, he's a priest and the Telemi ambassador. He can help me get home, but his influence could also be useful in getting your expedition financed.
Yes, I've heard of him. Well, having the backing of influential people is rarely a bad thing. My family is going to be thrilled when they hear about my exploits in Alima.
As for me, I'd like to go back to Iskiara. We left behind a giant, rampaging creature, and I hate to think what might happen to the locals and my companions. We can't just leave this beast to wander around. We have to find out what happened after our timely getaway. And since it's not possible to dock in Dooten, this will bring me as close as possible.
That's a lot of destinations to choose from. We'll have to choose just one. So, where are we headed? I'm glad you came to see me. I'm going to need your help. It's a personal matter.
What does it entail?
As you may remember, Silvio told me about a cache on the Constanzia. Despite everything that's happened to that ship since sinking, it wasn't discovered. I found my mother's logbook in there, but she had so little trust that she wrote in code. And I don't understand any of it. I need to know what information it holds. It may give me some insight into what happened to her. You understand?
Of course. But what do you expect from me?
I need you to find someone who can translate the logbook.
We're too busy at the moment. We'll have to see later. I won't bother.
See you...
Ah, excellent timing. I was just thinking about you. I wanted to ask you something.
What is it?
I suppose you haven't forgotten our memorable encounter with my nephew Rudolph? It so happens that I've just received a message concerning him. It appears to have been written by a servant who accuses me of being responsible for the disappearance of his mistress, a merchant from the congregation. He says that she was lured to a meeting by my nephew and never came back. In the course of the various threats of torture and accusations he makes, it emerges that my nephew has also disappeared. I'm worried about him. We don't have a good relationship, but it's all my fault, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to him. I could take care of it myself, but I'm afraid I wouldn't be thinking clearly because it involves my family. Would you help me find my nephew and this woman?
I'm sorry, but I've simply got too much to do right now. I'll come back and talk to you as soon as I can.
Thank you, but don't be too long. I'd regret it for the rest of my life if anything were to happen to him too.
See you later.
Of course.